Welcome to the first ever 5-minute guitarist tutorial, where I teach you how to play an entire song in just 5 minutes. Today we're going to cover Despacito by Fonsi featuring Daddy Yankee and Justin Bieber. We don't have much time, so let's get into it. Make sure to check out the description below for full lyrics with chords on top of them, as well as how to play each of the chords and any other techniques covered in this video. Let's start with an overview of a song so we know how it's structured, and more importantly we can learn only what's needed and not repeat ourselves by learning the same things multiple times. Good thing is it can be summarized by only 5 guitar parts that repeat in different places throughout the song, even if they're different sections. We've got a soft, very minimal part at the start, then we move up to something still minimal but a little more energetic, and then we get to the chorus, where we'll get lively and percussive and add that percussion that we didn't have in before. And then we've got the most energetic section, and then we've got 1/5 section, which is only in the second verse, where it's almost specifically percussive. If you notice how I described these sections here, I didn't really talk about their chord progressions or the strumming patterns because they're not as important as capturing the feeling of the song if you're trying to be authentic to it. Playing with just you and a single guitar, it's going to be a lot different than the song in the studio version as it is, so sometimes you want to change things and you don't want to play what they played exactly, because you'll want to add something so that it sounds good on just your guitar. And basically any song you're playing along to, as long as you change the chords at the right spot, then you can be creative with what exactly you play. So I'll just show you my interpretation of how I do things. So, we'll put our capo on the 7th fret. If you don't have one, you really should get one because they make things a lot easier. I've put a link to my favorite one in the description below. And the good thing about this song is there's only one chord progression that repeats for the whole thing. E minor, to C, to G, and finally to D. And that repeats the entire song. So, the most important part of this song besides the chords is the upbeat feel. So the rhythm we're going to play for most of the song is basically something like this. And you can see I played on the upbeats and not the downbeats, which is very important for Latin music because it's what gives it its Latin feel. The second part that's important is the percussion there. If you'll notice when I played that last section, I was playing percussion on the downbeats, which can be done on the guitar by palm muting. If you don't know what that is, that's taking your palm and putting it near the bridge of the guitar to kind of mute the strings somewhat. And depending on how close or far from the bridge you are, it can be anything from a full click to a partially muted chord. These palm mutes are what gives it, which helps it give it that percussive Spanish feel. Another way to do that, if you're a little more advanced, to use your third finger and your pinky to hit the body of the guitar to get almost a bass drum kind of feel. If you combine that with your palm muting, you can get a very powerful percussion on your downbeats. The third thing to keep in mind for this song is it's very staccato in most places, which means you're playing very short chords instead of full. You'll be playing. So you've got very short chords, and the easiest way to do that is just to put your palm, similar to if you're palm muting, down to stop the strings from playing. And then you've got staccatoed chords. Okay, so the first section I start with is, in this one I play just very soft, light chords, still staccato, with no real percussion. So it's going to sound something like this. So very soft, very light, very spacious, not a lot going on. Then we move into Fonsi coming in, and it's still pretty minimal, so we do a similar thing, but it's got a little bit more energy and a little bit more volume. So I'm going to do the exact same thing, just make the chords a little louder. So then we get into chorus where Justin comes back in and everyone knows the hook of the song there. So this one's pretty lively. It's got some percussion in it, which makes it a little more energetic there. Doing the exact same thing as before, but this time we're going to add in our percussive clicks there. So it'll give it more energy to the song. And if you want, you can add in your body hits there. So we'll just play the exact same thing we just did, but you can see we're gradually building here. So we'll go like this. And you can see now we've got the percussion in there too. So the fourth part of the song, once we get past Justin's chorus, when Louis comes in for the second bridge, this is the most energetic part of the song. And I like to change this one up a little bit from our upbeat rhythm by playing a more full chord pattern. And I'll play something like this. Just to keep with the Latin feel of the song, is I'll tend to play a lot of, or emphasize a lot of upbeats on this, even when I'm playing the full chords. So if you'll notice, my chord progression is, or my strumming pattern is something like this. So there's a lot of upbeats in there, which keeps that Latin feel true, even when we're playing the full chords. And that's most of it. The final section is when Daddy Yankee is giving his kind of rap section there in verse 2. And this one's more percussive than the other stuff. So rap tends to be heavy on the bass, heavy on the percussion, and pretty light on everything else. So if we want to kind of mimic that on a guitar, we can do that a few ways. The easiest way is to really emphasize that downbeat, and on our chords where we're picking up, what I like to do is play only the lowest strings on the chords, which really fills out the bass, but you leave out a lot of the higher guitar sounds. So I'll play in that verse something like this. So you can see it's heavy on the percussion, and I'm hitting the guitar body lightly there. And I'm only hitting the lowest strings. Now, it's not that crucial which ones you pick or that you even do this specifically, but I like to do that to add a lot more of the rap feel to it. And that's really all there is to the song. If you get each of these parts and play them where they're supposed to be, you'll be able to make something pretty interesting. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, where you can learn to play your favorite songs in just a few minutes. My goal is to release new videos every day, so come and join me and let's play some guitar.